It actually started back in mid-December of 2011. I'd been having symptoms in my body and I knew that something was going on. As I started becoming sicker and sicker, and I could feel the life in my body just kind of start powering down. Within like 4 days, I was able to get in to see the doctor. And he started doing the exams and immediately knew that there was a large mass over my right ovary. In a matter of hours, I'd already been moved from the office to another facility. They did the x-rays and looked at it and knew that, it was serious. And by 4:30 that evening, the doctor had called me and my husband in and had given me the diagnosis. And he said across there, and he said, "Chery," and he said, "You've got stage 3 advanced ovarian cancer. You could call it stage 4, stage 3 advanced, whatever. It had already spread." And he said, he was a Christian doctor. And he looked at me and he said, "Chery," he said, "this isn't a death sentence." And I said, "I know it's not." And I knew from that moment on, every word that came out of my mouth was going to set the stage for my miracle. I am so thankful that for the last 20 years I have sat under not only a miracle ministry, but that the word that was planted into my heart was what I was going to need for the victory and to overcome what the devil was trying to do in my life. So I called my pastor. I said, "Pastor, I've got the results from the test." And I said, I need you to laugh with me right now. I didn't feel like laughing at the time, but I knew that what came out of my mouth was what the devil needed to hear, and it was ha, 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 at the report that the doctor had just given me. So Pastor joined with me, and we attacked that thing right then and there, and we set the stage for my miracle manifestation. A dear friend of mine, Kim, she lives with us, and she's the godmother of my daughter. She compiled, we had scriptures, and when the pain would become so great, Kim would drag the scriptures out, and she would read like, "I will take away from Chery all sickness and will afflict her with none of these terrible diseases. I have set before Chery life and death, blessings and curse. Therefore, Chery, choose life." When I came out from the surgery, the doctor just happened to walk into the room, and I said, "Well, what's the prognosis?" And she said, "Well," she's one of those that's real matter of fact, tells you like it is. And she said, "Chery," she said, we didn't get all of it. And so she said, "We sewed that up and we're just gonna let the chemo take care of it." I got the revelation that he did it 2,000 years ago, that I received my healing just like a free gift, just like I did for my salvation. When I got a hold of that it was a done deal, it changed how I would fight the battle from here on out. That same spirit that raised Jesus from the dead is that same spirit that lives inside of me, that I knew that I would live and not die, and that the devil would not take me out, that life and death was in the tongue, and it mattered what I said about my situation, that it didn't matter what the doctor's report said, that from this moment on, that the doctor's report would have to line up with the Word of God. That very first Monday on March 19th, when I went in for the chemo, I took the chemo, everything went great, and I called the nurse Tuesday, and I said, "Buffy," I said, "this is Chery." I said, "What was my CA 125 before chemo?" And she said 7.7. And so I hung up and started doing the happy dance, because here it was, 63, they sewed cancer up in me, and now before chemo ever started, it wasn't detected in my body. And I'd made a statement to my pastor, and I said, "Pastor," I said, "chemo will not get the glory for this, but God will get the glory for this." I never had one side effect. Matter of fact, I would take chemo one day and would be able to come home and push mow my yard the next day. It never affected me. And then went in for the final, after the 6-1, I'd finished it July the 2nd, and they did another CT, and was able to, get the results, and the doctor said, man, everything looks great. Life and death is in the tongue. And I speak life to you today, and I just want to encourage you that if he's done it for me, then he will do it for anybody.